Alright guys, what's up? My name is Chris Valdez, and today I'm going to show you how to survive your first week in college. Let's check it out. So as a first year college student, everything's new to you. Just like high school, like the environment, the atmosphere, and the people especially. And I wasn't really prepared for it, but knowing my knowledge as a first year college student, here's what things I observed. Since this is a broad topic, I'm gonna talk about three main criteria that helped me throughout my whole first year of college. Alright, so the three main things I'm going to be talking about is stress management, time management, and being organized. So a lot of people ask me about my stress management, why do I train, why do I go to the gym and lift and put that much more pressure and tension onto my body, and I'm already dealing with this amount of stress from school. And truth is, to be honest with you, you always want to have that, the way of me dealing with my stress management and balancing everything from the gym. A lot of coaches know that for sports, that playing that sport is more of a 80% mind and 20% of what you actually do, because most people think that by training and everything it puts more tension on their body, which it does, but I don't see it as that. And the same concept with coaches telling their players that it's more of a mind game than the actual physical game. It actually applies to training as well. See, I think that I don't see going to the gym as me putting that stress on my body. I see it as me it's more of me taking my mind off things. That's what you guys want to do. That's the balance between school. That's my balance between school. That's my way of dealing with my stress, training. And for me, training is important because not only that I lift heavy and everything, but it also conditions my CNS, my central nervous system. And with that being said, that me conditioning my CNS also allows me to think better and manage my stress better, because if you condition your CNS, that translates to your mind being conditioned. So me going to the gym, I don't really pay attention to people who I don't really pay attention to people who say that, oh yeah, it's putting so much stress in your body. It's not adding physical stress, but also it's stressing you out more than what you're already doing with school and everything. But I don't see it as that. Like I said, it's more of a mind thing than actual physical thing. So that's my way of dealing with stress, is that conditioning myself and my mind. Sometimes it's just finding your peace and balance between everything, you know? Not all the time where I go to the gym I always have to go get a workout. It's just to find my peace there sometimes, and just to stimulate my mind. For other people it could be work, which I highly doubt. It could be work, something you love doing, art, drawing, dancing, that whatever way that helps you balance things between school and calm you down. If you think that you're putting stress on your body, then that's when it actually means that you're putting stress on your body, because you're just thinking that. It's more like a psychological thing that if you don't think that, if you're just having fun and just doing what you want and love doing. So the first thing to be an organized student is to have an organized mind. Organizing your supplies, your personal care, and other remedies is a necessity of surviving your first week in college. I believe being organized as possible has better productivity than just a student who's just going with the flow. So before taking your first steps to become an organized person, you have to find that right motivation. Motivation is a key, not just to become a great student, but in everyday life as well. I think a lot of students neglect this because motivation isn't really a strong side of a lot of people, but they often miss out on what's their purpose, you know? Like, if you don't have the purpose of getting your things done or having the right motivation to getting your things done, what are you doing it for? It's just to get it out the way. You always have to have a purpose, and that purpose and that motivation drives you to becoming an organized and a better student. Like, the supplies I recommend for students who want to start out with finding that motivation is a to-do list. Like, simply just a paper and pen, is writing down your stuff. And I know that's kind of like old school, but just like the physical act of writing it down like helps stick it in your brain so you remember that you have to get those things done, and like just like that motivation part's on you just to find. And it's just like right there, your to-do list, motivation, combine those two together, you have like those things done, right? So like, since I don't know like what classes you guys are taking, I'm gonna recommend my English class specifically, just, you know. So a couple of school supplies that I found that really kept me an organized person was first off, highlighters for my book, for my novels, for my notes. Color coding my notes is like really optimal to me because it helps me keep things organized. Because like if I just like write everything down in just one color, I'll kind of be lost, and like I'll have to like reread everything, which is like unnecessary, unless if like I highlight and color code everything. And highlighters, sticky notes for annotations, paper and pen, of course, getting your novels in early. So with Art of Racing in the Rain, I usually bought that a couple weeks after my senior year ended, and that helped me a lot because I found that I looked at just for an experiment, because my friend like was late and he wasn't really an organized person overall. He was late buying it, so he ended up missing like a couple days, or like I think a week, while everybody was ahead of him. So he had to rush reading the chapters later on. So getting your novels in early, buying it early, paper, pen, and having an organized folder. I think that's what you call it. But a folder, which my notebook usually has a folder. It's a 5-star with those little pocket folders on the little sides. So that helps me separate my work and everything, and that keeps me really organized as well, having a folder in general, because it separates everything and I'm not like scrambling for all like different different assignments. I usually have everything like already set there. So those are some school supplies that I recommend getting for English. So first year college students tend to oversleep the first day or week. So as you can see, this student didn't manage his sleep schedule right. Also, if you notice that his alarm isn't on, and this is how not to manage your sleep schedule. Alright, now the right student takes the right precautions before going to the bed, sleeping early, and getting your brain enough rest.
Oh, man, today's gonna be a great day.
As you saw in the first scene, Matt wasn't really ready for the next day of school. He was out playing video games, eating wings, not getting the right enough sleep. He didn't really have that alarm set up in the morning. And as you saw in the second scene, Matt was ready to get out of the bed. You could tell that he got the right amount of sleep that night. He was ready to hop out of bed and go to school. I think that being sticking to a certain schedule for school, especially for college, is a great way of managing your time. Because if you're a person like me who's like really regimented and like has to do things at a certain time, including like going home at this time, eating at this time, then it's like a really great way of like adjusting your mind and your habit. It will become a habit. So that's a great way of this develops over time with your time management, especially with during school. So if you're someone like me who lives far away from like school, then like knowing your traffic and the commute is really crucial, especially for students who go to universities and like don't have like a car or anything to drive to your or that part of class. So knowing your traffic, knowing your commute, like what days is like the busiest days is really helpful to know, because personal experience, in my first day of school, I actually was really late because like there was a bunch of traffic and like I didn't really because I didn't really know like how bad the traffic was, and like I already knew like how far away I lived from school, and I thought it was gonna be fine leaving at that because it usually takes about 40 minutes for me to get to school, but with that add-on traffic that I didn't know about, it took me an hour and 15 minutes, and I ended up skipping my first class because that alone like kind of killed my time and it ate up my time. So parking spaces is a really, especially at Napa Valley, it's kind of like it's really hard to find a parking space before class starts. Like for me, like my first day of school, it took a while for me to it took at least 45 minutes, I'd have to say, to find a parking space. And like the reason why it took me that long is because students are usually coming in late from school, or not late to school, and you know everybody's scrambling around for parking spaces. And since it was the first day, everybody is like just like me, I'm like trying to find my classes and everything, but they actually thought ahead of time instead of what I did. So I ended up skipping my first class because I couldn't really find a parking space. So you guys can learn from my mistake and don't make the same decision I did. So like one of the main things students would have to need before like a certain supply that I usually suggest, like knowing your way around campus, is the map of the campus, in fact, and your syllabus. You know, your first week and your first day, you're gonna be running around the campus, knowing where your classes are, and like parking spaces. You have to know where you're parking. That way you don't have to like park across campus and walk all the way to this class. So having a map of the campus and your syllabus, knowing where you go, if you haven't visited the campus yet, is like a great way. And like going to school early is really optimal too. That way you know where your classroom is, and so you can get a good start of get a good parking space before like it's chaotic. So having map of the campus and the syllabus are the two supplies I suggest you guys bringing for knowing your ways around the campus. Like me being a regimented person, I usually found myself like having lunch at a specific time. Like I would have lunch at 12:30, and waking up I would go to sleep at 10:30 every night. Like my body kind of adjusted to that, and like my mind kind of adjusted to that. So this is like a great way of my time management too. Is like becoming a regimented person and like developing that over time before school starts. I'd say like I give it a couple weeks, because someone who's like me, who has like a hard time adjusting to things, I usually have to practice that, and adjusting my time as being a student, especially like a first year college student, like everything's new to me. It kind of like helped me prepare for that. Like so sleep schedule wasn't really a big deal to me because I was already practicing it over the summer. So especially a couple weeks before. So like establishing that schedule can really improve the time management. If you follow all of these tips, you should look at something like this. Ready, set, go. So if you're someone like me, hello, I didn't see you there. Alright, dude. You gotta get out of here. No, that's success. You know, what are you doing it for? You have to have that motivation too.
Can you wind up the box under this piano, please, buddy? Amazon box.
Chewy, chewy, chewy.
Alright?
I've been recording.
Stop. Come here.
Chewy. He's out of here, bro.
Bro, where the hell?
Nigga hella fast, bro.
Bro, you hella fast.
He wasn't this fast in track.
You never run fast in track. You never ran that. You needed the motivation.
He hella did, bro.
Bro, where'd he go? He probably went back to his house.
Really?
That's across town.
Oh, here it comes, boys.
Oh, shit.
What the hell?
Bro, I never seen him that fast. He's doing laps trying to escape his virginity. That hurt my stomach.
The exercise for the month. He just pukes.
Why are you still recording me, bro?
Hella extra, bro.
Alright.
You know I'm still videotaping, right?
What?
I'm still videotaping, you know
Really?
that, right? Yeah.
Follow me on IG, Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Snapchat's down right now.
Snapchat's down right now.
That's all good.
Follow me on Instagram, _Emil Cordova.
Shout out to Rosie. Where you at?
No, Snapchat's down right now, I'm so sorry. Follow me on Snap.
Rosie.
Catch me on the Snap too. Emilio Coolio. Don't